Welcome to Textiles and Tea with the Handweavers Guild of America. I'm Kathy Group. I'm the advertising manager, and I get to be your host today. Today, we are grateful to Hcraft for sponsoring this episode of Textiles and Tea. If you're not familiar with Hcraft, it's an online magazine all about everything you want to know about weaving. There's some amazing articles, guest people to come on and write. It's a wonderful online magazine. I encourage you to check it out, Hcraft. As always, please put your questions in the last 15 minutes of the program. And if you would, put them in the Q&A. I can't always see them if they're in the chat. We love your chat. Keep the chat coming. But if you would put the questions in the Q&A, and I'll get to them if I can. Today, we are excited to have Suzie Liles from Eugene Textile Center. Suzie is a lifelong Oregonian. She's from Oregon. She has 4 grown children and 9 grandchildren. She loves traveling, and whether it be at the tropics or the coolness of Iceland. She's very enthusiastic and loves to share her knowledge of fiber. For over 35 years, she has taught workshops, seminars for children and adults in the United States and Canada. She's been teaching at the Weavers School with Madelyn for 30 years. She has a Master of Fine Arts and Fibers from the University of Oregon. She is a member of the HTA and has written many articles for Handwoven. She is the owner of Eugene Textile Center and co-owner of Glimakra USA with her daughter, Sarah Rambousek. For her free time, she runs tours to Sweden and Egypt, and we're going to talk a lot about this today. Hi, Suzie.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm doing well.
I'm glad you're here.
Me too.
Okay. Excuse me. So let's start off with the tough question. What is your favorite tea?
My favorite tea is sleepy time in the evening, but I am a coffee drinker.
Oh, okay. All right.
It's the coffee cup.
All right. So talk a little bit about how you got started in fiber.
Well, in about 1982, I was living in Fairbanks, Alaska. And I wanted to do something because I had 2 small children. And so I went to a store that had weaving stuff, bought stuff to start a little weaving, but I didn't know how. So I asked them what I should do. And they said, of course, you need to take a class. And so I took a class at Tanana Community College, and it was on big looms. And so I just fell in love, and that was it. So, and I bought my first loom when I knew I was moving back to Roseburg, Oregon. So that was exciting, and it got there just about the same time I got there. So,
are you originally from Roseburg?
I'm originally from Portland, Oregon.
Oh, okay. So that is your good old stomping grounds.
Yes. Yep. Yes.
You know, the more I read about you and looked you up on the internet and that sort of thing, it was like, if I had to label you, I don't know what I would put a label on you, because you're a businesswoman, you're a fiber artist, you're a traveler, and you're a designer. You've designed a lot of projects for Handwoven and long thread media. So, and then if I listed everything you have done, or you are doing, or that you're going to do, it would be a very, very long list. So what would you call yourself? What label would you give yourself?
I think if someone just asked me what I do, I'm just a weaver. I'm a shop owner and a weaver, but I love to teach. And so whether it be, you know, just someone coming into the store and just showing them how to do something, anything I can do to show them what they can do with things, to weave, to spin, to, you know, any part of the fiber community. That's what I really like to do. And it's, you know, my first years as a weaver, I wove so much, and even I joined the guild, and I would stay up like almost all night trying to finish things so I would have something to show to the guild, just because I was just a maniac.
Now, which guild was this?
Umpqua Valley,
Umpqua
in
Valley.
Roseburg.
Okay. Well, let's talk a little about your business, Eugene Textile Center.
Okay.
So how did that come to be? How did you end up with a store business?
Well, first off, I had a home business before that, the Weaver's Cabin. But then I went to the University of Oregon, got my master's, and then I taught 1 year at Kansas City Art Institute. And then during that year, a friend of mine, Madelyn Robert, said that we should open a textile center. And she was in Eugene, and I was living in Eugene when I wasn't in Kansas City. And so we decided to open the Eugene Textile Center. And it was small. We bought a small little house, and we had it there. It was about 3,500 square feet. And then after a while, I took it over myself. But the main important thing is it wouldn't be here if it weren't for Madelyn, because she was my pusher. And so it made me believe that I could really do it. So, and it's just, we in 2020, we opened again under a new roof, and it's now 15,000 square feet. So we bought an old grocery store, and my daughter and I purchased Glimakra, the distributorship. So that's in the building as well, totally separate, but in the same building. And so we actually, which was good in a way, we had our grand opening on March 7th of 2020 on a Saturday. And we had a band, we had food, we had everything. And then the next Wednesday, we were totally shut down. So, but what's so good about it is we didn't suffer, because we were the people that you would want to order from because you couldn't leave your home. So we were still there for you. So, and other than that, I'm just, the Textile Center is mainly just here for everybody.
I can't believe that. Weeks after you open, COVID hits.
It was pretty amazing.
I mean, you really would be the person that, people would call and say, can you send me something?
Yeah.
I'm going stark raving mad. Send me something to do.
Yeah, we had looms shipped really quick because people needed to do something.
Oh, yeah.
It is very good.
Well, you graduated from the University of Oregon. That's one of the things you've done. And if somebody had walked up to you back then and said, I'm from the future, and someday you will travel the world and you will have one of the most successful and respected weaving stores in the country, what do you think your reaction would have been?
That's a really hard one, because I have no idea. I mean, one thing is, back then I was terrified to fly, so I didn't fly a whole lot. Took me 2 weeks to get on a plane. But now it's not bad at all. But I think it's just believing. I come from a family, I'm the youngest of 6, and we all have our own businesses, which is kind of amazing. And so this is the one that I guess fell into my lap.
I find that hard to believe. It's like it was meant to be. There was a great weaving god somewhere saying, Suzie Liles, you're going to do this.
Well, and thanks to Madelyn for believing in me and, wanting to be a partner for a while. That was, the main help in all of it. So.
Well, what do you love most about running a business, and what do you love the least?
Well, first off, I want to say I have the best employees in the world, because we're like a family. And when you come to work here, you learn, you get to take classes and you learn all about what we do here so that you're good at customer service. And customer service is my real main, push, to have, to be able to help you. If you call me and you say, this thing is not working, what can I do? We're there to help. And so I love being able to do that. And it's just, I think my store and all stores is part of a community. And our guild meets here, and I like being there for everyone. I like being able to help people. I think is my main thing, is helping people. And also the one thing about coming to work here, whether it's me or it's one of the, my employees, there's always something different to do. You never do the same thing. I mean, you're helping, you're cleaning used looms, you're, putting together a new loom or spinning wheel. There's always something different. So it's, just a great place. And when
Well,
people, one more say, when people walk into our store who have never been here before, they just can't believe it. I mean, they want to take pictures so they can show their friends they're here, and they just can't believe that they have a store that's like a grocery store, but only has yarns in it and looms and spinning wheels.
So your guild meets there?
Yeah, we have a room in the back that we have for the guild room.
Oh, that would be dangerous for me. It would be dangerous. It would be very dangerous. You're sitting there talking about weaving and the new project, and wait a minute, I'm going to go buy some more yarn.
Well, it's nice because it's still part of the community. That's what we're trying to help in any way we can.
Well, so here, you're a weaver, right? So you do more than just sell things. You really do weave.
I do weave.
With your trusty assistant there with you. So how do you find time to weave? You're so busy.
Well, I don't have any looms at home, which is pretty surprising. And so I just come in early before anybody else is there so that I can weave, because if I'm there when we're open, I don't get, people talk to me and I don't get anything done. So I'm an early riser, so I like to come in early and work.
Oh, okay. That is good when it's quiet and you get things done, right?
Yeah.
So we've got some examples of some of the things that you've woven, and that you designed. And that I'm always impressed with anybody who can design. It's beyond my little pea brain. And these are done for handwoven and long thread media. And I apologize, I don't know which is which. So is designing something that is passionate for you, something you really enjoy? How did you get started designing? I'm always amazed when people tell me their stories of, how they started doing this.
So I love commissions, and I don't do too many now, but I did to start with. And so what that would do is someone would say, well, I want this type of yarn, I want these colors, what can you do for me? And so that got me started doing it. One of my, it's a funny story, but one of my first commissions was, they wanted linen, they wanted orange. Orange is my least favorite color, and browns, orange and browns. And it was a small piece of weaving for the back of their toilet. Can you believe that? I mean, the back of their toilet. Anyway, but it was just one of those fun things, trying to figure out what to do. And with handwoven the same way, if they need an article, for a certain subject, then I like to think about what can I do for that, or what can I help them with.
Oh, okay. All right. So you didn't go to them with an idea, you usually wait for them to make a call of, we need this, and then you come up with something?
Some of the times I would put something in, but most of the time I was the one that they would say, we need this, what can you do?
Wow. How
So,
nice to be that wanted. That's great.
well,
Well, so what has been some of your favorite things that you've woven or you've made?
well,
Or
if
is
you
it like a
notice,
yarn or a pattern or anything?
two of the pictures that you have in front are linen, and actually this is linen as well.
Oh,
And
okay.
so linen and lace is my very favorite.
Uh-huh.
And this is a lace project here that is done with the underlay reed, and it's not, you can't see really well, but it's a Hcraft lace pattern. And so I was able to, bend the threads as I was weaving.
Oh, what a great combination.
Yeah, it was pretty fun. And I have it in my window at home, and so it's see-through, which is really nice as well, like a
Oh,
transparency.
yeah. And if you look closely, you can see that it won the HGA award.
It did win the
But of
HGA award. I
course,
thought that was pretty good.
me too. I couldn't tell where it was though. Was this an exhibit at a guild or a
It
conference?
was an exhibit for the North or WeGo had a traveling show.
Oh, okay.
Weaving Guilds of Oregon had a traveling show.
Well, that's
And
amazing.
so,
I would
yeah,
have never guessed what that was if you hadn't told me. That's
that
cool. That's very cool.
was fun.
Teaching is a big part of your life. And this is an image of the starting of a video, an online video, YouTube,
Hmm.
of how to hem stitch, which I'm going to watch later because I'm terrible at it. Um, and I was amazed you're everywhere. There's all kinds of videos of you, teaching. So you teach online, you help at the store, you teach other places. What's the passion about that? I know you like to help people, but what's the passion with the teaching?
Oh, I just want other people to learn what I know, to be able to share my knowledge, mainly. And so, even doing the small, YouTubes, then people can look at them later and be able to, you know, learn from them, whether it's hem stitching or warping, it's just a good thing to have out there for them. I mean, there's a lot to see. There's a lot to see for a lot of people, but that's just my little input
I
in that.
like that it's recorded because you can go back and look at it again and again.
Yes.
Um, you also teach with Madelyn Vanderhoot at
Mhm.
the Weavers School. So tell us how that all started.
Well, I was told about an estate that I needed to go look at in Roseburg, and it was an estate of someone who did some interesting drawloom weaving, which no one had done before or since, and so hard. Anyway, so I took it to a complex weavers conference, some samples, so that I could show them, so that I could learn how I could do it. And a group of people wanted to see the loom, so we made a pilgrimage down there. It's about an hour away from the conference. So one of those people was Madelyn, and so we saw the loom, and we were able to kind of understand how it did, but it was amazing, because in drawloom weaving you usually use a ground, and then your weft can make your pattern, but there's only two colors usually, and this was a 4-color weave pattern, and it was kind of done almost like velvet as well, so because each individual thread could be pulled up at any time. So I asked Madelyn how I could learn how to do this. And of course, what did she say? Well, you need to come to my school. So, and she had just moved to up to Coopville, Washington, and had her school up there. And so I took a class, and then I took another class, and I never left. I just kept going. And so I became her assistant. And we've been best friends ever since. It's been 30 years.
That's hard to believe. It's hard to
But it's
believe.
pretty fun. I mean, we're a great team, and she does the lecturing. That's the part I don't like. And then we both work in the studio helping the students, and I'm the one who does all the warps and gets looms ready. She gets looms ready too, but I get a lot of looms ready. So
No, okay. How many looms are in that studio?
we have about 30 looms. It's a lot.
That's a lot.
It's a lot, and they're all warped and ready to weave.
They are. I have to say I've been to the Weaver School. It was amazing. And all I kept thinking about was all these looms you gotta warp. It's a lot.
Mhm.
Well, you also travel a lot, and you're taking tours to Egypt. So how do you think traveling has changed your view of fiber? And we've of course got a picture of you weaving with someone, but how do you think that's changed your view of fiber weaving?
I like the way I can see the different, how different people weave and the different techniques and the different, I mean, this is a school in Egypt. And I mean, some of these kids are young that start out. The gentleman that I'm with, right there, his name is Saeed, and he's older now, but he started when he was young as well. So he's trying to show me how he does it. It was pretty fun. I mean, and the other thing is you become friends with the people that you see, and if you go back year after year, they all remember you. And it's nice to be able to see what they do and how they do it, and obviously they like you to buy things, but I like being able to see the culture
Mhm.
of the different places and see the different things that people do. It's my favorite. I mean, I love traveling, so
Well, you take a tour there, right?
yeah, I take a tour to Egypt and to Sweden as well.
Right. And I was curious about when you lead a tour, how does that change how you view traveling? Because that's a different animal.
It is in a way because you're in charge of people. You don't have to do any, I don't do any talking and teaching there. I'm
Mhm.
just kind of I call myself the cat herder
Exactly.
because I'm making sure that all the people are where they're supposed to be at all times. But I like it because I like to see what the other people, the reaction when we go to different places. That's what I like. I mean, I like to see what I already enjoy, that they're enjoying it as much as I did. So
Yeah,
it's
that's interesting that the two you go to are Sweden and Egypt. They're pretty opposite. How did you end up at either one?
well, I went to Egypt my first time with Nancy Hoskins on a tour,
Oh, okay.
and she was leading a tour there. And then I became friends with the tour guide, and then we decided to do tours ourselves, just my tour guide and myself. And then in the Sweden one, we were asked by Opulent Quilt Journeys to lead a tour in Sweden. Sarah, my daughter, and I, to be able to take them to the different places, like we took them to the Glimakra factory and some other factories, so that they can see how things are done. And we took them to different studios, and then went to Stockholm. So we do that. Well, we've done it, and we're going to be doing it again in September of 2025. And that one, which is great, is going to be, it's in September, but it will end up a day before the VAV conference starts, which is the Swedish conference, which would be, we're going to, of course, do both. So if people want to go after the tour, then they can go to the Swedish conference as well, which will be fun.
Well, I wondered if there was some relation with Glimakra that you were there.
Yeah, the Sweden one is because of Glimakra. And then I'm also Opulent Quilt Journeys. I don't have dates yet, but I'm also going to do a Japan trip and then also one to Peru. So I'm excited about that.
Busy woman.
A busy woman.
Busy woman. Well, is there some place you haven't been yet that you really want to go? It's high on the bucket list.
Well, Peru has been on my bucket list forever. So
you've not been there yet?
I haven't been there yet.
Oh, good for you.
On some of these tours, what they do is they arrange everything. So you're just there and you get to go, and on the first ones. After that, you know more. So I've been to Japan once, and so when I go back, I will definitely know more on, you know, what to talk to people about, but mainly the tour guides are there. I'm just the person that's helping with the people.
Herding the cats.
Yeah, herding the cats. They're good cats, though.
They're good cats. Are they mostly fiber related?
Mostly, yeah. I have my Egypt one is not as much, but we do a lot of fiber there. But Sweden is definitely all fiber, and Japan will be all fiber, and so will Peru.
Oh, okay. Where are you going to go in Peru? Do you know yet?
I do not know, but I know that Machu Picchu is closed, so I'm sad.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, I don't know for how long. It's just closed right now.
Oh, bummer.
Yeah.
Well, there's so much to see there, even without Machu Picchu, so pretty awesome. I was surprised in your bio that probably the first thing on that bio was that you're a lifelong Oregonian, whatever that's called. So it's interesting that that's the first thing that you say about yourself, because you've been all over the world, right? And it's just an interesting combination. So then I wondered if it's important for you to kind of have that base. You grew up there, you know the area, and that you get to come back to it after you do all this traveling. Or am I making that up?
Oh, I know. I love Oregon. Well, it's nice because we have beaches. The weather's good. We don't have hurricanes. The only thing we have is forest fires. But if your defenses are up right, then, you won't get burnt. But, and we don't have we have teeny tiny tornadoes. I mean, teeny, like might hit like one barn or two. So, we don't have all the major catastrophes until the big earthquake comes, and then we will.
No. Well, when you travel, are you ever to a point where you're like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to go home? Or are you okay with just being out there?
Just doing nothing? Is that what you said?
No, you're okay traveling. You don't have to hurry to get home. Or are you at a point, do you ever travel and think, oh my gosh, I can't wait to get home?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so. I lost my husband a year and a half ago, so I used to want to get home to be with him, but now I'm just a little more freewheeling, except for the shop.
Oh, that's true.
I do have to be here every once in a while, They miss me. They really do miss me.
Well, your shop's pretty amazing, and I would encourage people, another plug here, if you signed up for Spinning and Weaving Week, and you still can, you should check out the Marketplace Live, because it's like being there. They do such a nice job of walking around the building, and you can see everything. And it's so funny because I keep thinking I've been there and I haven't, but I've just watched your tour so much that I feel like I know it. But the one thing that always strikes me when I talk to folks there, or I deal with you about things, is that it's more than selling, and you've talked about this earlier today, but that it's really a priority about helping. And that it's almost like you're promoting the craft and the craftsman as well. And I think what a great example is that you sell used looms, and I'm going to throw my name in there too, because I've had to deal with used looms through my guild. They're labor intensive, and maybe you've had better luck, but they don't always bring in a lot of money.
Yes.
But it feels like, again, it's a way that you support the craft and the craft people. True?
That is true.
Okay.
I do a lot of well, I do a lot of support. I think it's important to not just be the store that sells new things. I mean, I don't want to put them down, but we have a lot of used looms, spinning wheels, because we're trying to help people. We're trying to, either someone's downgrading or they're upgrading, and so they need to be able to sell their things. We also do a lot, well, not a lot, but quite a few estates. Either someone has had to go into a home or someone's passed away, and so we go and get their articles and resell them, which is it's a weight off of the other people's shoulders. And so we try and help, in any way we can. And not only are we helping the people who we're getting things from, we're also helping the people like the new weavers, or that can't afford something that's brand new. We're there to support them. And again, we're all a community. We're all we're all in this to support each other, to lift each other up. And, it does take a lot. And some looms are pretty hard to get back to original or more or less, but there's people out there that just love them. So, and spinning wheels as well. So we have a lot in right now. We have a little too much, but we have a sale on it. So we're getting rid of some of our used things.
Yeah, I was interested in how many aspects you have there, because you have someone that does dyeing, right? Dyes your yarn?
Yep. Janice Thompson does dyeing. She dyes a lot of yarn. She's also the spinning wheel person. We just got in 13 used spinning wheels. And so she's been going through each and every one of them, but she's also our dyer. And so she can dye pretty much anything. So she'll dye either fiber for the spinners or yarn. If I have cotton, I have a lot of cotton from Glimakra, but it's nice for her to dye some of it so that there is a space dyed type.
Oh, okay. Right. Well, what's next for you? What's next on your agenda?
What's next for me? That's it's mainly just keeping up with what I'm doing. I mean, I don't have any new things on the horizon. I think again, I want to bring back the community. I want to bring back, to make sure that, we all stay as a community and, support each other. And so any way I can do that to make things happen, that's what I want to do.
When you say bring back, you mean like from COVID, bring back?
No, just, if there's people out in the outskirts, just bring them into the fold, I guess I should want to say. So some people have been out there and they'll say, oh, I haven't woven for years. I would really like to get started again. And so we want to be there to help them. And I really want to do that. I want to, I go a lot of different places, not necessarily, I'll deliver looms up to Washington. I'll deliver looms down to California. The deal is you're still helping. And that, sorry to say that I'm just that helper girl. So
oh, sorry, we like that.
I love what I do. I mean, I totally love what I do. I have no qualms about what I do, but I think that is part of who I am. And I think that that's part of how the shop runs, because we all love what we do here. Oh, no one hates coming to work.
And it's so great because when you call with really stupid questions, like I do sometimes, it's so nice because there's always someone there who's like, "Oh, that's not dumb, you know. I understand that question," and that's nice. That's really
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
we have questions. Speaking of questions,
Okay.
let's jump over here and see what some of our questions are.
Okay.
Some of them are just comments. This is from Michelle Simon. It was really a community. There you go. No other resource like it on the West Coast. Thank you, Michelle. Oh, Barbara wants to know, how do you find out the details of your tours? Is it on the ETC website?
It will be up on, what they can do is at this
Hmm.
point, they can send an email to Eugene Textile Center,
Okay.
Suzie at eugenetextilecenter.com. And then I can forward their information to the tour company. They are just finalizing the last little bits of the Sweden tour. I mean, we have the dates, but if they send us an email, I will put them on the list.
Oh, okay. Okay. There's been some comments in the chat about Machu Picchu. Oh, I was there last week, blah, blah, blah. And then somebody else said it's closed because of civil unrest and it's closed for visitors. So the latest on Machu Picchu. What do you find? Oh, I get it. Sorry, Kathy, I was a little confused on your question, but what do you find that people want you to teach the most? What's the biggest topic overall or right now?
Hmm. Well, I teach transparency, so that's one of them, but I don't go out and teach as much. Mainly I have my workshops that have been good is my linen and lace workshops where I'm doing exactly what I love to do, teaching, they warp with linen and then they have to, weave different, it's a round robin. And so that's what I like.
Oh,
It's my favorite.
this is from Joey Barnes. I love that you host both local and national teachers in the shop and that students come from all over to attend. I'm forever grateful for your willingness to share and to create such a neighborhood. He says, what lasses are coming up? I'm assuming he means classes.
Well, and the other thing I want to say, and Joey Barnes is a good way to say it, is I have people that come into the shop and they say, I'm moving to this area because of you guys. And Joey Barnes is one that is looking for property in Eugene from Texas.
Oh,
And
wow.
we're one of the people that's the reason why. I mean, we're not the only reason, but it's just, but it's scary to me because it's like, oh, what if I don't want to do my shop anymore? All these people move to town and no, I'm never going to retire. So
Okay, good. That's good to know. Oh, this is from Robin. Hey, Robin Spady. She says, hi, Susie. Some believe brick and mortar stores are becoming dinosaurs. However, I've been to the Eugene Textile Center and it's an amazing place. I have to agree. Do you have a secret sauce or can you share what makes ETC so wonderful and successful?
oh, I think it's just the people that I have working here. They keep it going. They bring things in. I mean, they are the core of what it is here. And I couldn't do all the things I do without them. I mean, I couldn't be gone. I do not have to worry at all. Although they do know they can call me any time of the day, wherever I am in the world. They do know that. But I don't have any worries when I'm not here. So, and we're here for them. And that's what our success is.
Well, you have a degree in fiber. So what do you think is a way to get more young people weaving and participating?
I think it is classes. I mean, I really believe that we have young people that come to our classes, and Madelyn and I have had more younger people come. There is the University of Oregon still has a weaving program, which is amazing.
do.
And they have young people there. So I think it's just, trying to support them. And again, the used looms, every once in a while I've given out free looms, because this person, deserves it. But I think it's the classes. That's how we get people in, is having classes, whether it's rigid heddle starting out or, or spinning or, beginning weaving classes.
So do you work with the university in any way? I mean, any kind of a relationship with the students, or I'm asking that for myself because we have some universities here that offer weaving and we're always trying to figure out how to get those students, because, I wonder if they look at the guild and go, oh, it's a bunch of little old ladies making towels. How do you get the students involved?
We we're not actually involved. They buy from us. The students come over and buy. The students get discounts, of course. But they even have a field trip at the beginning of the semester to come and buy what they want, which is part of their materials fee. And then the teacher also, if he understands, he's a professor there, and if he understands that people need looms, he'll come and show them which are the best or which, they can afford and things like that. So, he helps us probably more than we help him.
You've got a fan club here, I'll tell you. This is from Michelle again. I agree with Joey Barnes. It's why I haven't sold my house in Oregon. I still go back and forth from California several times a year with my focus on ETC. Okay, Michelle, I'm going to call you next time I want to go up there, and I'm going to hang in at your house so I can do certain things.
She lives an hour away.
Does she really?
Eugene Textile Center. We get people.
Hey, everything's relative. We don't have any weaving stores here in Atlanta, so everything's relative.
Well, people, the other thing I want to put a plug in for is, people come into our shop sometimes. This part isn't the plug. It's the only thing I don't like about what makes me mad at Eugene Textile Center. They will come in and, maybe take a picture of a book or something so that they can buy it online later. And I think it's really, really important to support your local store. Don't buy online. If you have a store, so what if you pay $1 extra? It is really important because they have to pay for that brick and mortar. They have to pay for that. So we need to support, and that's how we'll get more stores, or that's how, we can keep going, because we need to support the people who are standing there waiting to help us. So plug for any store that's out there that's trying.
Yep. Like we always say, is if you don't support the store won't be there anymore.
And that is true. And there's less and less stores.
Convergence. If you don't go to Convergence and spend money with the vendors won't come back. You don't go to your brick and mortar store, the brick and mortar store won't be there. Do you have any suggestions for people who might want to start a store?
Well, I think that the way a store works in most worlds is you can't just sell the fiber. You need to have classes. You need to have equipment so that you can do a lot. You can, get them from all sides. You can't just, a knitting store is different because it's a knitting store, but even the knitting stores now are selling to, they're selling rigid heddle looms to get people started. So that's important.
I have to admit, I was at a class recently, and this poor woman just walked in and was brand new, and we're like, oh, you need a rigid heddle and you got to go to ETC, and this new weavers don't have a chance around some of us. All right, let me see what else. A lot of this is just how wonderful you are. Catherine wants to know, were you in Kansas when Yarn Barn started?
Oh, no, no. In fact, while I was there, I taught at the yarn barn. No, they started a long, way before me. I'm actually a newbie in the world of, I see these people from Shat. When I first started going to weaving conferences, we had Shat, we had Harrisville, we had Ashford, all the people, the owners of all of these. And, I was just a newbie, and now I'm up there. And at one of the last conference, the convergences, it was really nice to see. We went to dinner. We had Harrisville and Shat and me and a couple of the other ones, and their youngers are taking over. Like,
I know.
Nick is doing it, and the son-in-law from Shat is doing it. So it's like, they're trying to keep everything going. So, and then I have my daughter, of course, that helps me out. So it's kind of cool. I mean, I think it's cool.
They were talking about how important it is to introduce new weavers to the local guilds. And it's wonderful that you support the local guild, because it's so funny. We've been talking about where do guilds meet and how sometimes that's really Achilles heel for a guild, that they don't have a space.
Well, they don't have a space, and they don't have room for their library.
Right.
And it's it's expensive. It's expensive to have rentals, a place for your guild members to meet. So they are fortunate. Hopefully my guild knows how fortunate they are. I think they do.
Oh, no, a bunch of them are going to say that. Oh, there we go. Carrie Gordon wants to know, do you have something similar to Jaggerspun, since they're going out of business?
I know.
It's amazing. I can't believe
we
it.
will have up on our website. Maybe tomorrow, the next day, we will finally put everything we have left up on there. We had to close it. It was too crazy. But like Jaggerspun, that is pretty much, we're looking for things. It depends upon what you want to weave, because they were so soft. It's so sad that, someone didn't take over for
Well,
them.
Suzie, you've got a couple of hours a day. So it's in Maine. That's okay. Just you can fly back and forth. You don't mind flying now.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Oh, okay. Oh, long question here. Sorry. This is from Betsy. Our guild runs into looms and other equipments from family of weavers who've passed away. This is a constant question we get to at the Handweavers Guild of America. We do our best to pass them on to people who are interested in weaving, but that's not always possible. Unfortunately, we're too far away from ETC to ship them there. Any ideas of what they can do with them?
We just, if you didn't have a place, I put things on Craigslist. I think, I know that our Association of Northwest Weavers Guild has a site, and actually Facebook Marketplace is a good place to put. And there's an equipment, fiber equipment link, I think.
Yeah.
So that's helpful, but other than that, it's pretty hard. Or just donate them to a guild. Some guilds don't want them.
That's true. Oh, well, I can't believe, but we're running out of time.
Okay.
Thank you so much for being on here.
Thank you for having me.
It was fun, wasn't it?
It was pretty fun.
Okay. I didn't want you to be nervous. Anyway, Suzie Liles. Everybody knows Suzie Liles. She's at the Eugene Textile Center. And if you need to get a hold of her, you can call there. You can contact her online and through her email. And if you have questions or any other things that you want to talk to her about, she's wonderful and a great resource. And if you've not taken, I know I'm just doing the Suzie Liles plug, but if you're looking to take a class, check out the Weavers at Weaver House with Suzie and Madelyn. They're a great pair. I think they should take their show on the road. They're so funny together. So anyway, thank you so much, Suzie, for being on here. We really do appreciate it. We also want to say thank you to our sponsors. We love our sponsors, but we appreciate that Hcraft was sponsoring today. And again, if you're not familiar with Hcraft, it's an amazing online magazine, variety of topics, many authors. Robin Spady does an amazing job. Go check it out. It's well worth the money that she asked from you. It's more than enough. So check it out. It's a wonderful online magazine. And thank you, Hcraft. If you would like to sponsor an episode of Textiles and Tea, or your guild, or a bunch of people, your business, please do so. You can go to the website, weavespindye.org, and just choose a day and sign up for it. If you have questions, give us a call. We'd be glad to help you with that. But again, thank you so much to our sponsors. We do appreciate them. We appreciate all the support that we get from our donation folks. And we've got something big coming up. Do you know that we are coming up on our 200th episode? Hard to believe. Amazing. I always tell people, I just hoped we had 30 people to watch that first show and that we made it through the year. And it's been more than that. I've had an incredibly wonderful time. I've met some wonderful weavers, and I think you all enjoyed it too. So in honor of the 200th, we are asking folks, see if I can get this right. We have 200 artists on November the 12th. And that is 12,000 minutes. Can you believe that? 12,000 minutes of hearing inspiring artists, great stories, seeing new artists. That's one thing I loved. I've seen so many new artists, and we're not even repeating. We've got so many more artists that we've got to get to. We need to keep Textiles and Tea going. So why don't you come celebrate with us? See if we can do this. We want to do 200 donations of $200 in 20 days. And that is leading up to November 12th, when it will be our 200th episode. Can you join us on the celebration? We would love it if you would do that. We want to keep Textiles and Tea going for another 200 episodes. So if you want to join us, go online. You can donate. If you want to call us, you can at 678-730-0010. And you can go to weavespindye.org to purchase a sponsorship, or to make a donation. Thank you all so much, those of you who have been donating already. If you missed an episode or you want to watch this one again, you can. You can watch it on the HGA Facebook page, or you can watch it on the HGA YouTube page. If you like watching it on YouTube better than Facebook, be sure you subscribe, because when you do, they'll let you know when a new episode's been uploaded. So that's a great idea to do. Thank you so much for joining us this week. Thank you again, Suzie. It was fun seeing you and talking with you. Next week, we have Aneri Shaw, a new student. I think she's just graduated. A new student. She's looking at the world a little differently. It's always great to hear these new upcoming artists. So I hope you'll join us next week. Thank you for today, and happy tea.